The biggest problem with practical lighting is, for instance, on Orient Express in the train carriages, we had all these hidden practical bulbs, which were, I think, 60-watt bayonet bulbs, which obviously behind the glass work would read as one bulb. So what we did on certain ones is augment them with LEDs. When we looked at the practical, we would see one bulb, which was a filament bulb, which when you looked at it wouldn't blow out. When we needed more out of it, we'd bring the LED in. And actually what we found is that sometimes you could do both. So when we moved down the carriage, we wouldn't have to change bulbs. We would just bring on the LED that was behind it to augment it. So you boost it by another 100%. Vintage bulbs don't have enough power output. Put two bulbs together, so when you're not looking at it, you can bring both bulbs on and you get double the output. Because obviously if you just take a 60-watt bulb and turn it to 100%, the colour temperature is going to change. So you probably run it at 60% to keep it warmer, but then obviously you need the output of 2, so you have 2 bulbs. The other thing is lampshades. The other one is cutting a hole around the back of the lampshade, so when you're looking at it, you see the whole lampshade and the light coming out of it to the other side is open. The lampshade doesn't burn out, but the light coming out the other way is illuminating brighter than the stuff that you'd see in shot. The other thing about practical lighting is you should always carry some streaks and tips, which are just to knock back the centre of the bulb. Also, the other thing is getting little black wrap hoods so you can put covers on them so the light doesn't hit the wall up. Practical lighting, although everybody goes, it's just practical lights, are very difficult because dimming them is difficult because you have to plug everything into walls and have them all adjustable by hand, so you're running around changing stuff unless you can, like if you're on set, you can wire everything individually and have it back to a desk. Then also burning out because they're so bright that they just, all you see is a spot of light and they're very distracting. So you just put a dot of darkness on the bulb itself, so when you look at it, it doesn't burn out. Putting little hoods on them, putting diffusion on the top of the lampshade so the light coming out of it isn't hard. All those things. Night scenes are very difficult because obviously light, it's not a full moon every night. Your eyes can adjust to a very low level. There's sodium lighting. If you were in the middle of a field at night, you probably have some illumination or your eyes adjust. Whereas in a film, you don't. And obviously it's finding that balance. You know, does it always have to come from the sky? Does it about silhouette? Is it about putting a light far away and backlighting the trees? You don't light the subject so much, but actually if you start thinking about silhouette more, so you light a tree in the background and then you have darkness and then you have another light, so you start doing separation that way. Colour is a different thing. I think moonlight's never blue. It should never be, I don't think you ever see it as blue. And obviously if you've got warm light around the actor and you've got this very strong blue light, it's like, it doesn't make sense. We've been told that moonlight's blue and it isn't. It's not at all. It's more like grey, and I don't know how you get a grey light. One thing I think works well is tungsten light with a cyan 15 or a cyan 30, and it works quite well because actually it reads, the quality of light's better, it's less electronic and it also less blue in a way, so you're actually just pushing it slightly to the blue side without too much, and it reads much better. Urban environments are different obviously because you've got motivated lighting, but if you're in the middle of a forest at night in the middle of medieval times and it's not a full moon, what are you going to do? And that's quite difficult. You know, people don't stand in light, they don't sleep in light. That's the other thing I never understand, is people sleep in broad daylight. I mean, the sense if you go to bed and there's a light hitting your face, you'd be like, I'll turn that off straight away. In films, people wake up in the middle of the night and they're lit. Like, well, that's impossible. So my natural thing is to light the thing behind it that puts them in silhouette so you can read the shape, but not like the subjects. If you've got Hollywood celebrities, they want to see their face. Night lighting, should we say, is very difficult, exterior especially, but less is more. If you start putting blue light into a dark atmosphere, anything white's just going to zing out, so you need to keep that way down. It's a bit like car shoots. Everybody used to have a dashboard light, and I'm like, this doesn't work. And people aren't stupid anymore. I think it's quite nice seeing TV work now that people actually do night stuff, which is so subtle and so low lit. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite refreshing.
GPR, Mr. Mayor.
A trick Harris did on a film, we were shooting in a taverna on one side of the bay, and then on the other side of the bay was just the shops and things going. So Harris said, we'll take a 2.5 and a little putt-putt generator on a scooter. And he took it around and he just sat and he put it right in between the actors, but it was 3 miles away. And he was like, well, that's not going to do anything. And actually what he did was create this twinkle of light across the bay, and it lit between the actors and the light itself. There was this very nice little backlight. It didn't light the actors at all, but you could see the water. It created depth without, very simple, and I thought that was very clever actually.